Welcome to Inside the Capitol for TvAbraham. I'm Alicia Powe in Washington. Secretary Rubio told the Senate Foreign Relations Committee that the Maduro raid was targeted law enforcement, not war, not occupation, with no U.S. boots on the ground, no expected military action, and cooperation from acting President Delcy Rodriguez is already delivering results, with prisoners released, oil shifts, plus Venezuela now submitting monthly budgets to the White House for approval of its oil revenue. But with no real timeline for elections and low expectations for rapid democratic change, we ask key U.S. senators what this level of U.S. oversight represents in the region. Genuine progress, or does it risk potential overreach?
You know, something on the subject of benchmarks, something that Secretary Rubio said to me, I guess it was 2 weeks ago now, and the clear commitment that he made that was really important is that the United States will not put troops into Venezuela, that the United States does not currently have troops in Venezuela, and if there should be a change in the security situation that compelled the administration to change their view on that is, if they wanted to put troops in, they would seek pre-authorization from Congress consistent with the Constitution, and they also would follow the War Powers notifications. That's pretty significant. Those are important benchmarks that are both in the statute and in the Constitution. And I thought for him to make those commitments was really significant. I know he's testifying today. I've been in other committees, so I assume he's reiterated that.
Listen, I think the arrest of Maduro was a critically important national security victory for America. Americans are safer. Maduro was an indicted drug trafficker responsible for thousands of tons of cocaine coming into this country. The military executed that arrest with amazing precision. There's no other military on the face of the planet that could have gone into a crowded metropolitan area. Caracas is a city of 5 million people, into a heavily fortified military base, exercised those arrest warrants. Maduro was heavily guarded by Cuban soldiers. Not a single U.S. soldier suffered a fatality. That was an extraordinary operation. It was also a military operation that lasted precisely 2 hours. And so there is not an ongoing U.S. military operation in Venezuela. I am hopeful that we will see Venezuela quickly move towards free and fair elections, because right now the current leader of Venezuela was the vice president under Maduro, is illegitimate just like he was, is a communist and viciously anti-American. And I'm hopeful that within 6 months we will see free and fair elections in Venezuela. And if Venezuela, the people of Venezuela, were to elect a leader that were to embrace freedom, to reject the catastrophic failures of communism, and elect a leader who wants to be friends with America, I think it would be profoundly beneficial for Venezuela and profoundly beneficial for America as well.
It's obviously not going to be solved overnight. I think the administration has a reasonably good game plan of using, the oil revenue as leverage to get the regime to behave properly for a proper transition to true democracy, and that's what I hope will happen sooner rather than later.
I talk to a lot of Californians. That's where I represent, and going to war in Venezuela ranks around 200th on their priority. They were promised that a president would lower costs, and he would do it on day one, and we're on like day 375, and costs are skyrocketing. We were told that he would stop the wars, and now he's adding wars. He wants to go to war in Iran. He's bombed Nigeria. He's threatening war and more bombings in Venezuela. No one asked for this. He has a, quote, board of peace, but he is a world wrecking ball. And so, yes, Congress should do everything to rein him in and make him focus on the homeland. What's so interesting about Venezuela is the president said at first this was about, regime change and getting Maduro out, and that it was about the Venezuelan people. But then who does he put in? He puts in Maduro's number 2. So it was really about just who he could get a drug deal with, who he could work with. It wasn't about the people of Venezuela. Otherwise, he would immediately call for an election, and if they want to go with Miss Machado, who seems to be the preferred leader on the ground, or anyone else who would want to run, that would be Democratic. But again, this is just about another grift of Donald Trump and his family, and he hasn't shown us at all how Americans would benefit from that.
For TvAbraham, I'm Alicia Powe in Washington.